You're watching WEAR News, the morning current on WFGX.
Good morning, 7 a.m. on the Morning Current, and welcome. I'm Laura Hussey.
And I'm Jared Willits. We begin with some seriously interesting breaking news this morning.
Indeed, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, has been arrested.
He's been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Police previously said they were assessing evidence related to, yes, the Epstein files.
Several emails released by the U.S. Department of Justice showed Epstein's correspondence with Andrew's aide, David Stern. And these emails suggest the royal may have planned to use his role as a special UK representative for trade and investment to further his own business interests. These emails date back all the way to 2010.
Now, the king, Andrew's brother, King Charles III, recently stripped him of his royal title of prince due to connections with Epstein. Mountbatten Windsor has denied any and all wrongdoing in his dealings with Epstein.
And the king did speak about the arrest, saying the law must take its course in the investigation of his brother. More
to come, I'm sure. Florida Department of Law Enforcement looking into a deadly officer-involved shooting in Pensacola.
Here's what we know. It happened at the Carlton Palms condo complex on Garden Street about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Police had gotten a call about a man pointing a gun at someone inside on the first floor. They say at that point the man had opened fire, firing at least 4 shots.
The man apparently went outside. Officers got there and told him to drop the gun. He refused the orders, and officers shot him. The suspect was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. No one inside the complex was hurt.
Now, our crews talked to a woman who lives there. She lives on the first floor, and she says she was face to face with the shooter.
He just stared at me. It was just a man with a gun in his hand, and he was staring at me, and I think decided not to shoot. And then I started hiding between cars.
Do you know what he was trying to do there? Or?
No idea. I didn't know if he was a resident. I didn't recognize him.
Officers involved have been placed on administrative leave. That is standard procedure.
So many comments, more than 100 coming in on our social media post. DeAndre says, great work, officers.
Christopher did ask the question, what happened to non-lethal force?
Kevin wrote, unbelievable.
The Spring Hill, Florida man has been arrested for a double fatal crash in Pensacola.
60-year-old Wayne Dines now faces 2 counts of DUI manslaughter, as well as a charge of DUI crash involving serious bodily injury.
Now, the crash happened on January 30th, scenic highway near Rothschild's Drive, about 5:24. Pensacola police says Dines crossed the center line and collided with another car. One person in that other car died at the scene. The second person died days later at the hospital.
Now, Dines' arrest prompting questions about a stop before that crash. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office released information as well as body cam footage about their deputies' interactions with Dines earlier that day.
Now, the Sheriff's Office got a call at 4:49 in the afternoon at that other location. Call to assist EMS on a medical call involving Dines. Now, 2 deputies responded. They say the deputies detected no odor of alcohol, evaluated Dines' coherence and awareness.
They say at no point during that interaction did deputies determine there was any reasonable suspicion of impairment. They say Dines was medically evaluated and cleared, and that additionally, when he left the intersection, a deputy proceeded to follow him for approximately 2 minutes without noticing signs of impairment. We do have the dispatch calls and the body cam for you.
51 to assist EMS, W and Maxwell.
10-4, it's going to be at Mobile and W. EMS 51 for a male who was slumped over in a Jeep with a black top. He's now awake. I have no idea what they need yet.
What are you doing?
I'm just running them.
EMS leaving?
Yeah, I guess he answered all the questions right. And he was like, all I did was I was looking down, and then they got mad and thought I was asleep.
Does he seem like he's intoxicated?
He's talking funny, but I don't know if he just talks funny. He's kind of an old guy. You know what I mean? Okay, as long as you're going to drive, just make sure you're paying attention, okay?
No. Actually, I was, that's when I was trying to figure out how far away it was to stop. And then I got a nurse, I'm like, where the heck am I? And like, oh, no. I told her I was by his side. I was showing nurse, and it was like, I didn't have like the wherewithal to like all the way. So I apologize.
You're usually good to drive.
Right now, Dines is in jail in Spring Hill awaiting extradition to Pensacola.
And plenty of you sharing your thoughts on this story. Let's start with Crystal. Thank goodness he's been detained, sending prayers and love to the families of the victims.
Heather wrote he should have never been let go by the LEOs when he was passed out at a red light earlier in the day.
And Lynn asked, what happens now to the officers who initially let him go before he killed 2 innocent people?
If you'd like to find out more about this story, scan the QR on your screen. That'll take you to this story on our website. That, of course, is WEARTV.com.
It is 7:05. Meteorologist Brooke Richardson joining us, and I am so excited about the temps today.
Yeah, and it is going to be looking warm today. We are going to be looking at a little bit more cloud cover as well. A touch of some fog now because of that humidity. So we are going to be watching a little bit more of that moisture today. So you can see right now, barely able to see the pier. We're going to watch closely for that fog. Could be seeing a little bit more of those issues, especially along those coastal conditions. So just keep that in mind as you are traveling. Right now we are in the 60s, anywhere from the mid to upper 60s. Now with this humidity, we are going to be starting to see a chance of some rain today. It is going to be a small 20% chance, but you want to have the umbrella with you just in case. We're going to be feeling that mugginess. It's going to be quite humid. You can see about 5 to 10 miles an hour coming in from the south. Your radar does look dry right now, but you can see the clouds that are just streaming in. So we are going to be looking at a bit of a cloudier day. We are going to deal with about a 20% chance of those stray showers. Temperatures do warm up continuously through your morning, getting into those mid to upper 70s. And then as you head into the evening, temperatures back in the 60s, and we will start to see your rain chances increasing even more as we head into the end of the week. We'll talk about when you can expect some of those showers coming up.
Checking out your Thursday morning drive with a look live across the 3 Mile Bridge. Traffic still light at 7:07.
Dozens of animals are now safe after being found in an Okaloosa County home. The Panhandle Animal Welfare Society says they discovered the cats, the dogs, and exotic animals.
And PAWS says these animals were living in absolutely deplorable conditions. WEAR's Aria Circuit joining us now with more. We learned, for example, that the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office does not currently have an open investigation around all this.
Right. Although the animals were dirty and living in a not ideal conditions, PAWS executive director says they were fed and relatively healthy. The Sheriff's Office says there's no case that's been filed and no complaint so far. PAWS says the rescue mission started after an anonymous tip. Executive Director Tracy Kinsley says there were 52 cats, 10 dogs, and 7 exotic animals, including a chinchilla. They were all packed into filthy cages and flea-infested bathrooms.
Some of the worst I've ever seen, litter boxes that probably have never been cleared out, feces all over the wall, on the ceiling. And yeah, the animals were living in that. There's also children in the home as well.
Pretty much every room you went into, every corner you looked at, there was a cat or a dog or some other animal, something like that.
PAWS says caring for and taking in those 69 animals does not come cheap. With the microchips, all the vaccines, the preventative care and treatments, the intake process total upwards of $45,000. Now, they do have all of these animals currently in their shelter, so if you want to adopt, foster, or donate, there is a link for you on our website. Laura, Jared?
Here on the Morning Current, we do like to see what's going on in your world. You can text videos and pictures to WEAR-TV to 95577 or chime in from our website.
Coming up, a tragic ending in the search of several skiers in California after an avalanche. The depths and why crews can't get to the victims' bodies.
And there is a new development in the search for Nancy Guthrie. We'll talk about what the FBI is now doing. But for the here and now, what we're going to do is take a coffee break.
Who's ready? Are you ready for a coffee break?
I know I am.
8 backcountry skiers are dead and 1 is missing after that avalanche in California's Sierra Nevada mountains.
Happened Tuesday on the California side of Lake Tahoe. The remaining missing skier presumed dead. 6 others in the skiing party survived. They range in age from 30 to 55. Rescuers have faced near whiteout conditions. The victims are still at the scene, cannot be retrieved yet.
It's going to have to wait for a break in the weather, as you can see. 30 inches of snow fell between Monday and Wednesday. So here's where it stands at this point. No victims identified. Officials say the avalanche was as long as a football field. Survivors took shelter in an area that had heavy trees, and they waited hours to be rescued. 2 sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
There is a new development in the search for Nancy Guthrie. FBI now exploring the possibility she was taken across the border into Mexico.
That is just 60 miles away from her home. ABC News citing law enforcement reports that say there's no evidence she was taken across the border, but still it's an avenue investigators are exploring because of that proximity.
They continue to analyze partial DNA found inside Guthrie's house, and it does not match the 84-year-old's grandmother or anyone close to her. They're comparing it to criminal databases and looking at forensic genetic genealogy. Sheriff says authorities have received more than 30,000 tips.
Well, there is a reward for information leading to Nancy or her possible captor. That reward now stands at more than $200,000 after an anonymous donation.
You've heard about this, maybe not, but Prince Andrew's been arrested. The latest update in the Jeffrey Epstein fallout, but he's not the only high-profile man making some headlines.
Quite a number of mentions of Bill Gates in those recently released documents. Now, he was supposed to deliver the keynote address at an AI summit in India today. He's backed out. His reps say he wanted to make sure that artificial intelligence, or that he was rather really tuned up to talk about it.
He is currently under a lot of scrutiny for his ties to Epstein. Emails Epstein sent to himself appeared in the files, claims he set Gates up for sexual encounters. Also claims Gates sought medication for a sexually transmitted disease, wanted to give it to his ex-wife without her knowledge. Gates denies it all.
And meanwhile, billionaire Les Wexner did speak to Congress yesterday, the House Oversight and Reform Committee. He told lawmakers he was, quote, duped by a world-class con man.
He denied knowing about Epstein's crimes and denied participating in the abuse of young girls. Hearing was about 6 hours. Wexner says his relationship with Epstein ended in 2007.
Now, he says Epstein was stealing from him while he was serving his financial advisor. Wexner's name appears in these files more than 1,000 times. He has not been charged with a crime.
The Newark Liberty International Airport is back open after an emergency forced a ground stop.
This was yesterday, involving a JetBlue flight that apparently experienced engine failure after taking off for Palm Beach. They had to turn around immediately, the FAA saying the crew had seen smoke in the cockpit.
Passengers had to be evacuated from the aircraft using the slide, 122 on board. One person taken to the hospital with chest pains. Flight operations suspended while the plane was moved off the taxiway.
Airport policy is an automatic shutdown of operations when passengers have to be evacuated using those emergency slides. So that's what happened that night.
And there's more. A man has been detained by police being called an unruly passenger on board a Delta flight.
This was a flight that took off from Houston headed to Atlanta yesterday. They had to turn back to Houston. They were in the air just 15 minutes.
Witnesses telling ABC News the man tried to get into the cockpit, said he wanted to speak to the pilot. Witnesses say he then started punching people. Says he attacked someone sitting by a window, grabbed their hair and shirt. Now, witnesses say it took 8 people to get him away from the other passenger, and they sat on him until they got on the ground and police got there. The FAA is investigating.
Look at that guy out there on the ice. 4 New York police officers are being praised today for rescuing that bald eagle.
Yeah, they were conducting a training exercise on the Hudson River when they spotted him. He was injured and he was floating on the ice. They said it looked like he was in distress and injured, so they went and got him.
He in distress too out there.
Yeah.
He looked pretty uncomfortable. The wildlife authorities actually gave them permission to handle the bird. They told him how to do it and also to cover its head. Apparently that will help keep their stress level down. So.
And they use, as you can see, a catch pole They got there slowly with the boat. The eagle was taken to a sanctuary and is said to be like stable, whatever that really means.
Majestic birds. I'm glad he's okay. We've had a couple of cool shots lately from viewers and our own producer, Hank Murdoch, of bald eagles in our local area. It's kind of a treat.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of, you know, just visibility issues, we're looking at some fog. It's very humid outside. We're going to be looking at some more humid air as we go into the next couple of days. So just get prepared for it. We do have a touch of that fog that's starting to develop right now. So just give yourself a little extra time to navigate this. Right now, we are taking that look over our Hardee's camera, and you can see not too low in terms of visibility, but we definitely have some fog that has now moved in to Pensacola Beach. Let's take a look at your temperatures. It's going to look like that most of the day. We're going to be looking very humid, very cloudy. Temperatures are going to be warmer with this humid air. We're in the 60s to the 70s. Going to be a bit warmer along that coastline. That's where we're seeing anywhere from 70 to about 68 degrees. Highs today going to be in the upper 70s to even low 80s inland. We could see around 82 in Molino and Jay. So we'll be looking at some warmer weather. It does come with that humidity. So high humidity levels today, tomorrow, and Saturday. It does lead to a little bit more cloud cover. So you'll notice cloudy, overcast skies. You'll also start to see a chance of some rain. Starting today, we're going to be looking at some showers. We'll have your rain chance around Friday and Saturday as well. And then that dry air moves in behind a cold front. We will cool off with this, and we will have a little bit more sunshine and also looking at less of that rain chance. Let's take a look at your radar, because right now we're not seeing any of those showers yet. We do just have the clouds that are starting to build in. You can see a bit of a cloudy day today. We'll have a few pop-up showers here and there. Rain chance overall today, keeping it low at about 20%. You can see possibly a brief break in the clouds, but the clouds stream right back in. As you head into the evening, we're going to be looking at your rain chance increasing for Friday. It is still going to fall along more of an isolated pattern, but it'll be scattered around throughout the day. So that's why we'll keep your rain chance a bit higher. You do have a good chance that you'll see clouds, maybe a little sprinkle here and there before it does move out. They're going to be fast moving light showers. It does not look like we'll see anything too heavy, which is going to keep overall rainfall totals lower. So that's the same thing as we head into your Saturday forecast. If you have any outdoor Saturday plans, it's not looking like we're going to have the heavy rain. We're not looking at thunderstorms. We'll just have some of those passing showers moving through. So your rain chance will be around 60% as you head into that Saturday. You can see it does move out by the time you hit the nighttime hours. That's that cold front, drier, cooler air behind it. Like I was saying, overall looking like a light rain chance. So it does not look like much rain totals. We're going to be looking at possibly a trace to about 1/4 of an inch, depending on if we see more of those moderate showers moving in. Seatow rain forecast, 2 feet for the Gulf. Winds are out of the south at about 10 knots for today, and we do have your yellow flags flying with a good chance they will stay yellow throughout your day. Here's that week ahead. Temperatures are going to stay warm and humid over the next few days. We're going to be looking at drier and cooler air moving in for the beginning of the week.
Actor Shia LaBeouf did not let his arrest during Mardi Gras stop him. He's still having some fun in NOLA. We'll show you what he was seen doing after he was released from jail.
All right, Shia LaBeouf is still in New Orleans. He was arrested Tuesday. We talked about that. He was accused of punching a staff member of a bar when he was getting kicked out.
Yeah.
He wound up getting arrested, simple assault as opposed to what, complicated assault. And they took him to the police station or whatever, and they released him. And then?
Yeah, and then he was dancing with his jail release papers in hand. The video is all over social media. He still had his wristband on from jail. I guess they give you a wristband when you go to jail. Didn't know that.
Didn't know that. So the local TV stations got the video. The Hollywood Reporter had put out that article this week, basically saying he'd been in NOLA bar hopping since Thursday. One bartender saying he was terrorizing the city.
One of the people in the scuffle Tuesday says LaBeouf called him a gay slur. Now he's saying it's a hate crime, and I think there's going to be some proceedings regarding that.
Yeah.
Although he was seen I guess Wednesday morning going for a run, maybe trying to, clear things up, stopping into two churches, which were both closed. So, yeah.
Hopefully he's coming back around.
I love this story.
Snoop Dogg, we just love him anyway. He's in Italy for the Winter Olympics, as you know. He had, and this can happen to all of us, a little credit card mishap at a restaurant.
He bought lunch, handed him the card. I'm sorry, Mr. Dogg, but your card has been declined. So what if you're Snoop Dogg, what do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah, you give them tickets to the men's snowboard halfpipe final.
Five tickets. 5 of them. And the owner of the restaurant was thrilled to death.
I would think that would be a fair trade.
I want to go back to what he ordered, though, because was this all just for him? Because he ordered a cheeseburger, chicken wings, chicken nuggets, and French fries.
Yeah. That's a good meal right there, I'll tell you.
This is a guy who can afford any food, and he just, like the rest of us, wants him some junk food.
I guess Vanessa just said munchies.
Yeah.
I guess he has a pretty high limit on the credit card. I mean, he's Snoop Dogg, right? So he's been spending like crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes your bank will deny an international charge. Brooke knows these things. All right.
We move on.
Chime In is sponsored by Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
All right, this is from Colleen McNeil's. Mia loves her azaleas. She's precious.
Thank you, Karen Powell, and good morning. This would be Cappy and Bailey. They clearly are best friends.
Oh, we love your photos. Some Escambia County students now speaking out after they walked out of class, what they're saying about the consequences they face.
Well, good morning and welcome back. It is 7:28 and a half. What should we talk about?
I think we should talk about the weather. It's always safe, right? Meteorologist Brooke Richardson, bit of a visibility issue this morning.
Yeah, it's just going to be very humid. We're going to be looking at the clouds around. We'll see a touch of some fog as well. This is what we're going to be seeing the next couple of days with just that high humidity. We're not able to see the pier anymore over our Okaloosa Island camera, so just something to keep an eye on, especially coastal areas where humidity is just a bit higher. Temperatures this morning, they are warmer. We are seeing the 60s and 70s. It is going to be a warm day today. We'll have a chance of some rain with this as well. Once again, we just have a lot of moisture that's building in today. Our winds right now are coming in from the south at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We will see a decent breeze from the south today. And your radar does look dry. We're going to be looking at a few more showers possible, especially later into the day. We could see a few pop-up sprinkles. So that's what we're going to be watching as you head out the door today. Temperatures are going to stay warm. We're in the upper 60s already. We'll see 70 for all of us by about 9 a.m. Getting into those mid to upper 70s for your highs. And then heading into your evening, temperatures will fall back into the 60s. We're going to be looking at that small chance of rain as well. We'll track out that rain chance for you coming up.
Looking at your early morning drive, we see things are picking up along I-10 and Pine Forest right now. No slowdowns other than the usual areas reported. Just be careful as you head out.
A bit more fallout from last month's student walkouts in Escambia County.
The walkouts were part of a nationwide protest against immigration enforcement. Several students say they were punished for walking out of classes, facing 3-day in-school suspensions.
Others say some seniors lost their privileges to participate in graduation and prom.
Well, the school board met for the first time last night since those protests on January 30th, and some students and community members were there voicing their concerns.
Students standing firm, they say, that their First Amendment rights were violated.
Students should have the liberty to speak their minds and express themselves, political or not. When you account for why we did what we did, the district's response is very concerning.
None of the board members responded to the statements during the public comment, except for Superintendent Keith Leonard, addressed claims that the water was intentionally shut off during the protest at Booker T. Washington.
That was not cut off. There were, y'all know you have work that's going on there pretty much day in and day out, and I'll hold my other comments for later, so thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, we requested an interview with Superintendent Leonard to hear his thoughts on the meeting, and we are waiting right now for confirmation from the district on the exact punishments the students received.
Lots of opinions circulating online. Our social media received about 400 comments.
David says, stay strong, keep walking out. This is the students' first lesson in democracy. Even if you're not old enough to vote, you can vote with your feet.
From Peggy, I am so proud of these kids for standing up for what they believe, but they're facing consequences for breaking any rule.
And Deanna shared, if they believe in it so much, why don't they protest after school or on the weekends, which would carry more weight and meaning, because it is just a reason to skip school, or they don't want their parents to know what they are doing.
Scan the QR on your screen and join in the conversation. Let us know what you think. Should the students have been punished for walking out for the protests? We'll have all those results for you tomorrow morning right here.
Well, today, Pensacola's Architectural Review Board is going to talk about the fate of an historic home in East Hill.
The current Farney Hill home was built in the 1930s. The original burned down. The property owners want to demolish it, say repairs are simply too costly.
That would include a cracked foundation that they are dealing with, some mold, rotting wood, all of those things. And while the home is considered historic by design, it is not in one of Pensacola's 4 historic districts.
In today's ARB meeting, they'll either set a vote to approve the demolition, deny the request, or delay any action. Mayor Reeves says delaying process may allow a buyer to step in.
Yesterday we asked what you think. More than 100 responses, with 70% saying they think homes outside of historic districts should be eligible for protection. 30% said no.
Big trial. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, of course, owns Facebook and Instagram, testifying in this landmark case.
The company is accused of making Instagram addictive to children and teens. The case centers on a 20-year-old who says she started using social media at age 10.
The lawsuit claims app's features got her hooked, eventually leading to depression, anxiety, and body image issues. Now, Zuckerberg defending Instagram's current restrictions that ban users under 13, but saying, quote, I always wish we could have gotten there sooner, unquote.
He also testified that, quote, the company has acknowledged for a while that people get around the age restrictions, end quote. And then in a statement yesterday, Meta said they disagree with the allegations in the lawsuit, adding the evidence will show the plaintiff faced many significant, difficult challenges well before she ever used social media.
YouTube, also involved in the trial, denies any allegations. TikTok and Snapshot were named in the lawsuit but settled.
Americans not willing to pay up to support AI, the data centers, the particular issue right now around the country.
Those facilities full of computer servers need a lot of power for AI. It is estimated that the data centers will account for 21% of global energy demand by the year 2030.
62% of voters say they would still support a data center in their area, even if their power bills increased by $5. 52% were still on board for an increase, even with $10, including those data centers.
Now, a majority of voters did not oppose data centers until they increased it $25. More regulations are hitting data centers, of course, including zoning restrictions and electricity agreements.
That is so interesting. We want to know what you think. We're going to pop a QR code up. There it is. Would you support a data center in our area? Let us know what you think. We'll bring you the results tomorrow morning.
More final round.
Us to crash a qualifying round.
We'll get to the Olympics in a second. Right now, I'm going to take a breath and enjoy a nice big draw on my coffee.
Right there with you. Happy Thursday morning, everybody. Thanks for watching The Morning Current. At the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan, Trump have not won an Olympic gold medal in hockey since the Miracle on the Ice. Remember that? It was all the way back in 1980.
All right, the ladies hockey will be going for the gold today against Canada. Women's figure skating, the finals are today. Team USA member Amber Glenn, Alyssa Liu, and Isabu Valavido skating. If any of them medal, be the first U.S. women's individual figure skating medal in how long? 20 years.
Wow.
And then speed skating, Jordan Strolls will try to win a third gold medal today in the men's 1,500 meter speed skating.
The cross-country skiing event.
All right, let's take a moment to talk about curling. Lots of preliminaries continue today in men's and women's tournaments. Curling fans, take note.
We love that, but we love this even more.
True enough.
Yeah, a local dog is taking home some Olympic glory.
Do that. Yeah, get him up on the podium.
The fun's not stopping here. Pensacon, one day away, you guys. Pensacon 2026.
That's right. We have interviews on our shows today with some of the guests. Actor Alex Hyde White will be at our 11 o'clock show. He's known for being in Pretty Women. Remember that? Pretty Woman, pardon me. Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, and the unreleased 1994 film Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and then at 4 p.m. we'll have a live studio interview with actress Miranda Wilson from Days of Our Lives.
Oh my gosh, the questions for her. That show is iconic. Pensacon kicks off Friday at the Pensacola Bay Center. It will run through Sunday, and we have all the details on WEARTV.com. Check it out.
We did post a question. Are you going to go to Pensacon? 19% said yes, 81% said no.
Oh, but those 19% are going to have a good old time.
Check out all our stories on our YouTube channel. Top local national stories are all there. Just search out WEAR News at YouTube.com. Sit back, relax, and watch all our stories.
We have more ahead on the Morning Current. The FDA now agreeing to review Moderna's mRNA-based flu vaccine. Why the agency is changing course? We'll take a look. This morning, a proposed tax on billionaires turning some Democrats against each other.
Proposition in California would impose a one-time 5% tax. It was proposed by one of California's health care unions. They say it was needed to prevent collapse of the health care system, I think. would also fund other public services.
Now, Governor Newsom pushing back on the proposition. He says it will drive wealth and business away from the state, hurting California's economy. This proposal needs nearly 900,000 signatures to qualify to go on the state ballot.
In New York, they're talking about the same thing. Mayor Zoran Mandani says property taxes could jump by nearly 10% unless the governor agrees to raise taxes on people earning more than $1 million a year or corporations. Claims it's only way to close the growing budget gap.
Let's hear what you think about all of this. Should the rich have to pay higher taxes? Scan that QR, let us know what you think, and we will bring you the results tomorrow.
How about this? The FDA reversing course, now agreeing to review Moderna's mRNA-based flu vaccine.
Originally, they had refused to review this particular vaccine because Moderna did not compare it to a high-dose flu vaccine for older people in clinical trials.
Moderna said the agency agreed to the design of the trials 18 months prior, said the data was actually included but came from a separate trial.
Well, Moderna has now amended their application, and the FDA is agreeing to the vaccine review. Moderna has agreed to additional studies in older adults after the shot is on the market. If approved by the FDA, Moderna says this mRNA flu vaccine would be ready for next flu season.
Love to know what you think. Scan the QR on your screen. Answer the question, do you trust the mRNA flu vaccine? Results for you tomorrow right here. Okie dokes, getting ready to go back to the moon. We're finally going to go back, maybe at the end of this month. 4 astronauts getting ready. They're going to go around the moon.
I hope we have a live shot because they're doing what they call the wet dress rehearsal right now.
Launchpad 39B, by the way. 4 guys. I met Victor Glover, one of the astronauts. Such an impressive man.
Well, that's an impressive job. The simulated launch window begins at 7:30 tonight, and the actual launch, you're going to have to wait, Jared. It's not till next month, and that's if everything goes well today.
I'm going to call them and see if I can let me do the countdown. It's like a lifelong dream.
All they can do is say no. I'm telling you, you need to ask.
You need to ask. In all things in life, we just need to ask. I would ask for a warm afternoon. I really would love that.
I mean, we're going to be seeing it. It's going to come with that humidity and rain chance as well. So something we are going to be watching as you head into your afternoon. Right now, you can see it's foggy out there. We are going to be dealing with that humidity. It's going to be looking like this the next couple of days because of that high humidity. So it is going to be a touch foggy, especially along the coastline. Coastline is where we're going to be seeing those issues. You can see right now over our Hardee's camera, really not able to see much. Just a few seconds ago, we were able to see the beach ball. No longer the case. So we are going to be watching that very closely. If you are traveling the coastline right now, give yourself extra time. You might be seeing some of those visibility problems. As for your temperatures, they are very warm. We are in the mid to upper 60s, even seeing some low 70s along the coastline. It is going to get into those upper 70s to low 80s. So it is going to be quite a warm day. That does come with that high humidity, a lot of moisture. So we're watching for some showers with that as well. So you can see that mugginess. It's going to be quite high the next couple of days, especially going into Friday, Saturday. A lot of moisture, and this is going to lead to some of those rain chances that we can see. Now, we do have a cold front that's going to move in Saturday. That's going to lead to an increase in that rain chance. It does drop our temperatures, and it does bring in some drier air for the beginning of next week. So let's talk about your rain chances. Right now, main thing we're seeing is the cloud cover and the fog. So we are going to have the cloud cover quite thick throughout most of the day. You're going to be looking at more overcast skies. As we head into the afternoon, we could see a brief break in the clouds where we see some sunshine before the clouds move right back in. We will be looking at some small rain chances here. We're going to keep it low at 20%, but every once in a while you can't rule out a few little sprinkles, and that's going to be the extent of the rain chance for today. We're going to see more coverage heading into your Friday. You can see Friday morning a few more showers starting to build in. We'll be looking at more of a wet pattern setup for your Friday afternoon. It is still looking isolated and light, but it will be around through that Friday. Same thing heading into your Saturday. Your rain chances will be a little bit higher as we do have those showers building in. So something to watch for Saturday, especially in the afternoon. You'll still have plenty of time to get outdoors. It is just going to be a little bit more unsettled. So every once in a while, you'll see some of those sprinkles before they make their way on out. Now by Sunday, we're going to be looking at drier air moving in. We're going to be seeing some sunshine heading into that Sunday, and then we will be looking at some cooler weather moving in behind that. Now overall rain totals, we could pick up possibly a trace of rain to maybe a quarter of an inch. It does look fairly fairly light. It's going to be just moving through the area. We will have it just scattered around, so that's why we're not expecting much accumulation here, but we could be seeing at least some. Any little bit's going to help us. Sea-tail rain forecast, 2 feet for the Gulf. Winds are out of the south at about 10 knots for today, and we do have your yellow flags flying with a good chance we'll keep those yellow flags throughout your day. Let's get you through your week ahead. Temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 70s the next few days. Rain chances will be around through Saturday. Heading into Sunday, we have our cold front moving in. That's going to be bringing in some drier air, so you'll see more sunshine. We will be looking at cooler temperatures, especially Monday and Tuesday. We'll wake up in the 30s with highs in the 50s.
Big story coming up. A relative of the man who decided that peanut butter and chocolate was a great combination, the guy who came up with Reese's peanut butter cups, he says the Hershey Company is tarnishing the brand. Okay. You know, at the Willits house, we freeze our leftover Halloween candy. Now, I really think she buys more than she knows we're going to use, but that's another issue. But every now and then we'll dip in, and what do you think goes first?
Oh, I'm sure we know what goes first.
The Reese's peanut butter cups.
Because they're the best, absolutely.
But there is some disturbing news about the peanut butter cups.
Yeah, apparently the grandson of the inventor, his name is Brad Reese, he is saying that Hershey's is tarnishing the brand. He put an open letter on LinkedIn claiming Hershey's replaced the milk chocolate with compound coatings.
Compound coating?
Yeah, he does say the peanut butter was replaced with a peanut butter style cream, and it's eroding the Reese's brand.
Now, AJ, producer AJ, is intimately familiar with this story. She knows everything about this. Big fan, clearly, of the peanut butter cup.
Are you, AJ? Is the peanut butter cup one of your faves?
Reese's is my absolute favorite, but I have to say, I don't think I noticed this because it's not all products. It's like Fast Break bars and the Take 5 bar. They have a chocolate candy product and a peanut butter cream. Look at the packaging. It will say milk chocolate because there are rules to call yourself milk chocolate, to say your product has milk chocolate. There are rules. and it will say that it has, I think it's like classic Reese's peanut butter. So it will say branded, but check it because it's probably not the same. But I think the real issue here though is with, and I think the grandson actually said this in his open letter, or maybe Hershey's said this, it's all about the peanut butter to chocolate ratio, right? Whether it's a difference. The classic cups are different than the shapes. I personally feel that the shapes are far superior. What do you guys think?
Oh, see, opposite. Classic cups, which I understand is actually still actual milk chocolate and actual peanut butter. So you must like the more peanut butter ratio.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we got to settle this though. So we have a poll that we're going to take. Everybody, there's going to be a QR code on your screen. Make sure that you scan it. Let us know what's better, the classic peanut butter cups, the holiday shapes, or the big cups. And these are all with actual milk chocolate and actual peanut butter.
And, you know, it was funny Valentine's Day. I remember you leaving saying Tanner is going to get you the big holiday heart shapes. Did he get you those?
Yes, he did, and they're gone.
Hey, I'm glad he got them.
Should we not, being stewards of public information and consumer news, we should have a taste test here on the Current.
Haven't done that in a while. Yeah.
Just eat peanut butter cups.
Okay, we will be right back. I think everybody's running for the snack machine right now to go get some peanut butter cups. See you in a minute.
Well, we have 10 seconds to say goodbye, so I shouldn't belabor that at all and use up all the time we have. So I'll just take the quick minute here to say thank you very much for watching The Morning Current, and we'll see you tomorrow morning right here at 7 o'clock.